2016 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Jared Goff, quarterback, California.
Was it a secret? No. But now he's officially the Rams. And what a moment. Jared Goff, Bay Area, just moves down the coast to L.A. A lot of pressure. But you know what? They wouldn't have drafted him if they didn't think he could handle it. There they are, the Rams. Training at Oxnard will have their first preseason game. It's our, I don't often hype a preseason game, but the first time they'll play in the Coliseum, we'll see them in August. And their first regular season game, we'll have them on Monday night in San Francisco. So they were 7-9 last year in a very tough division with, of course, Arizona won it, and Seattle is always a favorite. Going to be tough to make a move, but the Rams are hoping that Goff is the guy that can do it. He's the 5th Cal quarterback to go in the first round. Some, like Steve Bartkowski, went number 1 overall. The Atlanta Falcons also in a trade in 1975. Really good player. Rich Campbell, Packers, didn't work out so well. Kyle PBA Bowler, didn't work out so well, Ravens. Aaron Rodgers speaks for itself. He's great. So he joins Rodgers and Bartkowski as guys that have been big successes. So we've talked about, and good luck to him and the Rams. And so now, we're on to the Philadelphia Eagles. That quickly will pick with the second pick, and they have made a trade with the Cleveland Browns, as you know, last week. Number 2 to number 8, and here is the trade, in case you weren't keeping score at home. So, for the Eagles to move up, even with Sam Bradford and new coach Doug Peterson signing, he was the offensive coordinator under Andy Reid at Kansas City, the backup Chase Daniel, they move up. They get the 2nd overall pick. They get a 4, and of course, the Cleveland Browns move down to 8. They get a 3. They get a 4. They get a 1 next year. They get a 2 in 2018. And so, this trade, do we like? We know that the RG3, Washington did it for a 2 spot. That didn't work, although the Rams didn't reap unbelievable benefits. Like or dislike, fellas?
I'll call it a push. I love what Tennessee did, but the problem here is you have the Philadelphia Eagles giving up an awful lot. You have a quarterback who has limited starts, just 23 at the 1AA level. You think about where Cleveland is. Cleveland trades down with RG3 as their quarterback, giving up a chance to get this quarterback, and they did it back when they passed on Ben Roethlisberger. Thought they had a quarterback in Jeff Garcia they could buy time with, and didn't take the quarterback. Seems like every move Cleveland's made has turned out to be a disaster. Will this be that way? We'll see. But I think if you look at both these teams, risk both ways, giving up as much as the Eagles did to go up to 2, get a guy like Wentz who enjoyed that meteoric rise. It's amazing, guys, how far he came. Did he come too far? You think about where he was back in August. Then he gets hurt October 17th. He didn't even finish out the year, but he did come back and he played that national championship game. What I loved in that game, he still let him in rushing. And he didn't come back playing scared. He still attacked. This kid can run the ball. He can extend plays with his legs. And the fact that he didn't have any fear coming back that injury. They were only a 3-point favorite in that game against Jacksonville State. They won 37-10 with Carson Wentz at the helm. So for Philadelphia, it's a lot to give up. For Cleveland, giving up on Wentz to move down. All I can say is, I've said this all week and all month, you better, if you're Cleveland, get a young quarterback in this draft.
All right, we're going to get back to Carson Wentz in a moment, but Susie Culver is down with Jared Goff, number 1 pick in the 2016 draft. Susie.
Well, Jeff Fisher said that part of the reason he didn't want to reveal who the pick was, so you could have that moment when the phone call came in. So what was that moment like?
It was well worth the wait, honestly. It's an unbelievable moment, once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I can't really put it into words right now. I'm very happy, very excited to get on and move on with my professional career.
The Rams met with you right out of the gate after the combine, and everybody talked about hand size, but it was pouring rain in Berkeley and cold. That's when they fell in love with you. What was the connection like for you?
It was great. I felt very comfortable with their whole staff and had a really immediate connection all the way from the combine. Felt really good with, like I said, their whole staff and Les Snead and everyone involved in the whole organization, and it's very exciting. Again, I'm very excited for it.
You're a California kid. Now you get to play your career in California. And we want to send a shout out to another California kid who's been a Rams fan forever. Ready? We miss you, Mort.
More, we miss you. Stay strong.
Boom.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Susie. We love you, Morton. We miss you. And I know you're watching. We hope we're doing all right for you. So, that check-in with Susie, by the way, brought to you by Booking.com. So, look, now here's the second. When you trade up for the second pick overall, on the good side, Eric Dickerson, Tony Dorsett, Randy White, Hall of Fame, Burt Jones, great. On the bad side, trade up to get RG3, Ryan Leaf, and do you remember Johnny Lamb, or as the Jet fans called him, Scam Jones, the wide receiver from Texas. This seems like much more of a feast or famine spot. Will Wentz make it?
Yeah, it remains to be seen here. I like how they kind of have configured the coaching staff. I'm big on structure. I'm big on giving players a chance. And even though Carson Wentz's body of work isn't that extensive, I like that they've given him a chance in Philadelphia in terms of how they structured the coaching staff. I love Doug Peterson. I know how the guy teaches the quarterback position. I know the fundamental that he stresses. He comes from Andy Reid's tree. The question remains, though, is whether or not they're going to have the pieces to put around him. I think the kid will have a chance, though. He's going to get some quality coaching. They just have to make sure that along with Doug Peterson, they give the quarterback a chance to grow and develop.
I hope they play double headers because they're going to have too many quarterbacks to get reps. I don't know what they're doing with Sam Bradford, Chase Daniels. It'll be very interesting.
The Eagles start a new era with Doug Peterson as coach and Howie Roseman back as GM. Here's the pick.
With the second pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Carson Wentz, quarterback, North Dakota State.
Once upon a time, native son of North Dakota, Roger Maris hit a bunch of home runs. So the state of North Dakota is saying, we just hit a home run for the Bison, with Carson Wentz being picked by the Philadelphia Eagles. Not many have gone this high. And look at the reaction at the party in his hometown in Bismarck, North Dakota. What a great scene. Last year, the second overall pick came from Honolulu. This year, coming from Bismarck, North Dakota. Football players come from all places. They're all shapes. They're all sizes. And so, if you're we still call it Division I AA, he's only the fifth to go in the first round from a non-quote FBS school. But how did it work out for Phil Simms? Won a Super Bowl. Ken O'Brien was better than you remember with the Jets from Cal Davis. Steve McNair took a team to the Super Bowl, was an MVP. And Joe Flacco from Delaware, he won a Super Bowl. And so, therefore, the track record says, don't be scared off if the guy is good enough. Is he good enough?
Well, I'll tell you, physically, Bo, he has exactly what you want. 6'5" and a quarter, 237 pounds. He can make every throw you want a quarterback to make. Smart kid, intelligent, loves the game. Also, the versatility in his game. Like I said, he has the arm. He has the sound mechanics. He's been under center. Carries out ball fakes exceptionally well. And I love the mobility. I love that aspect of Carson Wentz. He was second in rushing on the North Dakota State football team as a junior. National championship game, he led him in rushing. I'll tell you, the offensive line breaks down. He can get that first down. He can keep those chains moving. He can roll right. He can roll left and make accurate throws. As I say, he's been under center, so he's not just a shotgun guy coming in with a lot to learn. What he's got to do, people say, well, he played in cold weather. Now he's in Philly. Coldest temperatures he played in were 34 degrees. He played in the dome, the Fargo Dome. So don't make it your Eagles, well, you're playing in New York, you're playing in Washington. Hey, the weather conditions he's dealt with, played in the dome, but he did play in 34-degree conditions, never played in teams. But I'll tell you what, he's tough, he's aggressive. And as I said, when he came back from that injury, Lewis, he showed no fear. This kid is a tireless worker. He has a commanding presence about him. I think at this pick, maybe a little rich for my blood, but he's a good football player.
Yeah, look, this is a guy who right now fits the profile, the type of quarterback that a guy like Doug Peterson will want. Howie Roseman has been there. Jeffrey Lurie, look, they know what the kind of quarterbacks that Andy Reid liked when he was there. They're really trying to create 1999 all over again. At 6'5", 237 pounds, this guy fits the prototypes. He fits the prototypes physically, and you know how people get enamored with that. And this guy, justifiably, you can get excited about that. Now they just need to go to the next step of development, and that is Doug Peterson. It's on you now.
Well, he's got all the intangibles, the brains. What I like is he applies it on game day. Very few college quarterbacks audible and control the line of scrimmage anymore. At least when you watch this kid play, you see him take the game over at the line of scrimmage. Hey, it's a blitz. National championship game, change the play, change the protection, and make a throw in a tight window to determine the outcome of the game. I love that. And he's a dual threat. He's going to use his snap count, a dummy count, to see the blitz coming. And when he recognizes it, he can audible not just to another play, but to the best possible play like a quarterback power, and he has the athleticism to finish it. He's a dual threat. He's been well trained. He has the physical attributes. Good luck.
Lewis mentioned it in 1999, the first draft pick by Andy Reid was Donovan McNabb in the number 2 spot. He's starting quarterback for the first 9 games till McNabb played, Doug Peterson. Peterson is now the coach. He's lived it. Wentz will sit. Life. It is the circle of life. It is true. When we return, ESPN's coverage.